Welcome, this is Rod Mastar. I'm the developer of my application called byDriverTrac. And we're looking at a login process. Here showing some sample expense reports, May, April, and March. We're going to explore May to start. This is the current month of today. And entering into that month, you can see that it's blue in the header and it states current month. We can enter this two ways, doing a Control 1, clicking this button. Automatically brings up a blank trip. I'm going to remove it and return back to the trip log. There's one trip already entered in for today, the day that I'm doing this. I have data in March. I'm going to go back to March. Doesn't have the blue header, nor clicking on this button allows us to automatically drop into a blank trip log. What I want to show you today is that I have a number of trips, 21 to be exact. This is the trip that I entered. These in yellow are trips coming from your CSV file being populated into the trip log. Let's go back to the expense page. Click this blue line on the left to page down. I want to enter into the CSV process. And what we're going to do is something a little different. I add it to the script up the top left to populate, but I'm going to delete because there's already been a population of 74 records out there. Now going into the trip log, I only have 4 records, and they're all the green ones that we've entered in at the trip log process. In a sense, what I'm planning on doing is making this so that I could create trips and then append the trips like I do this CSV file, populating the monthly log of the trips, hours, and time that I use the trip log, and for the whole month, indicating this being week 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Doing that allows us to use this application other than for Uber. I'm going back out here to the script, and I'm going to populate again those 74 records into the trip log. Okay, so if I could move CSV Uber data and populate this application, then I'm looking to also find a Lyft and a sidecar or other ride-sharing apps allows me to read their data, whatever way they store their data, into this application. For the taxi cab companies not using those type of applications, they want to maintain their mileage and their expenses also. Well, why can't they use the log trip, automatically log in a trip, storing the trip in the trip log for the whole month or for the day, and then I will reverse the trip log into the expense, kind of repeating myself, populating this data like I do with the CSV file from Uber to populate that data. Most Uber drivers probably would not use the trip log because of the Uber process. It could be convenient creating your own reservation system. Pickup times, star ratings, and whether or not this was pinned correctly or not. One of my biggest problems and gripes. So that's where I'm headed at. Not only am I enhancing this application to work with Uber and myself, I also want to utilize the trip log for setting up reservations, so making the application convenient enough to be used by other driver processes. And that's what I wanted to show you. There's a little bit about the trip log and where I'm heading. I'm the programmer. I drove taxi for many years. I've driven Uber, and I've driven some other situations like a pizza process where you charge by the mile and you do. Thanks for your time. I appreciate any comments. Hope you enjoy what you've seen so far.